All right, this is Mason from Escape Games Global, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of train you a little bit on how to use a tool that your store has now just been purchased. Now, anyways, this is called the uncompleted queue. You can actually hit the queue button up there, and it'll refresh the queue. It automatically refreshes every 10 minutes otherwise. Now, you can see this is a fictitious store. First Contact, Pirate Plunder, Crossing Over, those are all game names that this store has. But let's just say the First Contact people who have one player, Mason Ambrose, that would be me. They just finished the game. Now, it says one player. If there were 9 people in there, it would say 9 players. If the game time was 5:15 p.m., it would also say 5:15. Each of these rows is just a different groupings of player. Now, the time on it really isn't that important. If you have a corporate event that's at 10 o'clock in the morning and your store opens at 12, you can make 10 o'clock slots. It's just fine. It doesn't really matter. Once you complete the game, you can use that same time slot again. It's just a way to group players together. Now, First Contact. Let's say we want to complete this game. This group came in. They did really well. Let's say they escaped 55 minutes, 33 seconds. They used 3 tips. All right, cool. Now we need to select a team photo. Now let's go ahead and find a team photo. Now keep in mind, if this were an iPad, you would actually have to take the photo yourself. The iPad would turn into a camera and you take the photo. The thing that's important here, and I stress this, is if the little iPad button is on the right side of the screen, then you should be good. If the iPad little button is on the left side of the screen, the photo will be taken upside down. That's why we have this little thing here. Now I selected it from a hard drive, but you could very well just take it with your iPad. Here we go, that's the photo. If the photo looked good, if the photo's right side up and everything looks good, then you're good on that photo. You can complete the game. It takes a few seconds, and then afterwards it says, look at these things. Now here's the other huge important thing of the system. You want to tell people that they just broke some records if they see this little screen. For the first month, 2, 3 months, you're going to see a lot of this screen. But after your store uses this for a little while, it won't happen as much because these people are all setting records. And when there are no records set in the beginning, and there's 25 slots, there's going to be a lot of record setting stats that are going to come in. But every single time this shows up, you want to basically say, good job, and tell them you're now overranking, number 2 overranking for First Contact. Mason is now the number 1 in achievement points. Mason is now number 1 in escape games. You basically tell them how well they're doing. And that's important because you're going to help them walk out with a smile on their face. You know, if you've ever bought somebody a drink at a bar, the person giving that message never gets a nasty look. They're always like, oh, God, you're so nice. And that's you. You're giving a great message. No matter what, people are going to like you for this. And that's going to make them go home and think that business did a great job. So let's go ahead and hide this one. So you just did that. That's great. Now, we're back on the next one. Now let's go ahead and say they didn't escape. So how do we do that? We don't touch this. We say maybe they asked for 5 tips. Still didn't escape. Man, they suck. All right. 2 team photos again. Let's use the same team photo. All right, here we are. They did not escape, so we don't have to hit the escape tab. Nor do we put in the time. The system will figure this out. Hit complete. All right. It still shows the stats from Mason's in there. Overall ranking is 6. Even though they didn't escape, their still overall ranking is high. So, that's fine. Once again, that won't start to happen once you've got a lot of games in the system. Now, let's actually do one that we messed up. So let's say they didn't escape. Tips are 3. And let's say you didn't actually add a photo. That's First Contact, complete, and then you're like, crap, we didn't add that photo. So you go up to Users and Games, Recently Played Games, First Contact. The most recently updated is at the top. All right. 3 tips, capacity 1. Got a photo in there from something else. Let's say now we add our photo. And did they escape? Yes, they did. They escaped with 44 minutes, 33 seconds. We update that. What that'll do is it'll change their image on the website, it'll update your photo here. And it'll actually say they got the right time. So it'll reassociate all the achievements, so they'll get emails about all this stuff. So you go right back to the queue, and now you have 2 more left. And you kind of go through the queue. So anything you need to edit can be found here. Anything in the queue that you need to fill out can be here. If you need to delete a game, you hit X. Are you sure you want to delete this? Nope. Or yes. And they'll just remove it from the queue altogether. So also, if you have a user that says, I want to find out what my information is, you can search for the name. You just find that person right here. You find out all the games they've ever been in, so on and so forth. Click that. And we have more goofy data, but you get the gist. You can find that. Here's the game that you're playing. You can edit the user game just like we did before, so on and so forth. So that's essentially Escape Games Global, and that's how you do the queue system.